Today on View to a Grill, we're going to talk about the temperature for each manual mode setting on the Weber Searwood 600. I'll show you the temperature in the middle of the grate using the RFX thermometer, the temperature on the back of the grate using the Weber thermometer, and the temperature on a sear plate using the ThermoWorks IR gun. And we're going to go through each manual mode until I tap out. So I have my pellet hopper full. Let's start with manual mode 1. How I'm going to do each of these is set it to the manual mode, let it run for 15 minutes, and then show you the temperatures. Here we are on manual mode 1, 15 minutes is up. The Weber thermometer at the back of the grill is reading 285 degrees. The ThermoWorks RFX thermometer in the middle of the grill is reading 244 degrees. And that's a 41 degree gap in temperature, which is huge, but I think it's because everything is coming up to temperature. No need to do a sear plate reading on level 1. Now let's take a look at level 2. Our 15 minutes is up for level 2. The temperature at the back of the grill is 370 degrees. Temperature in the middle of the grill is 353 degrees. Still got a pretty good gap, but it is decreasing. Now the sear plate has been heating up for about 30 minutes and it is running rather cool at 183 degrees. And now let's take a look at level 3. At the end of 15 minutes on level 3, we have 475 degrees in the back, 467 degrees in the middle. So that gap is decreasing the longer the sear wood is on. The sear plate is reading 289 degrees. Let's take a look at level 4. At the end of 15 minutes on level 4, the Weber thermometer is at 490 degrees and the RFX is at 493 degrees. So the gap has completely closed and swung the other way. Our sear plate is reading over 400 degrees, and for me that's a good temperature for smash burgers. Now we can take a look at level 5. At the end of level 5, we're reading 480 in the back, 474 in the front, still pretty close, and the sear plate is now reading 438 degrees. And one thing I noticed was that mode 4 and mode 5 were basically the same. Now go ahead and move to level 6. Now at the end of manual mode 6, I set a temperature alert on my RFX thermometer since the probe has a max temperature of 572 degrees. At the end of 15 minutes, the temperature shot up to 545 degrees in the back and 552 degrees in the middle. The sear plate was reading over 500 degrees now. And now let's take a look at level 7. Now before we ran the 15 minutes on manual mode 7, I decided to take the RFX probe so that I wouldn't break it. From this point forward, we'll only be going with the Weber thermometer. And at the end of 15 minutes, the temperature was 580 degrees. So it was a good thing that I removed my thermometer probe. Ouch, that's hot. The handle was too hot to handle. Our sear plate got all the way up to 535 degrees. Now at this point, I actually considered just stopping the video because it was clear that we were going to get pretty hot. But let's go to manual mode 8. And you can see the temperature shoot up all the way past 600. And at that time, I went ahead and decided to stop the video because of how hot this thing was getting. Our final temperature reading was 615 degrees as it was going into shutdown mode. Now, if you recall, here's where we started with pellets and here's where we ended. Now, we went through 8 manual modes before I tapped out. We didn't go through 9 or 10, but clearly the Weber 600 gets at least up to 615 degrees. If you want to try the rest of them, you go right ahead. Now, thank you for watching a View to a Grill. Like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.